morning, people. Just ended a very brutal metabolite back and bicep training session, man. Wow, feeling it. This is officially 2 weeks out, man. I always say 2 weeks and 5 days, you know, like I round it up to 3 weeks and stuff like that. So this is officially 2 weeks out from today, which today is a Saturday. So yep, that's the situation going on right now. Then I'm about to finish 500 calories of cardio, and then I'll be done for the day, because I actually did 300 calories of cardio, which I was supposed to do it I was supposed to do it today, which is the second session of my back pull, because you guys know that I train 2 sessions if you guys are happening to watch my videos. So I'll take the 300 calories, and I took the 300 calories and then I pushed it to last Sunday. So today I don't have a second cardio session, so I'm gonna bang out 500 calories right now, and then I'll see you guys back at the house, man. So I just arrived at Harbourfront and I'm waiting for my girlfriend to come so that we can go shopping. And then here I am at the basement level, and there is so much food to eat, man. I'm just gonna walk around and show you guys what food they have here. I'm gonna be so freaking sure that I'm gonna chow down like 12 donuts at least after the show, man. And then show you some more food at Harbourfront. They have one of the best salted egg chicken rice. If you guys ever had that, it's like salted egg with white rice on the side. It's amazing, man. I think these are the 2 best foods in Harbourfront basement 1. So if you guys ever think of checking out, right, I think these are the 2 spots you guys gotta hit up if you're ever at Harbourfront Sentosa. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm so hungry that by after 13 July, I already wrote down the amount of donuts that I want, and I'm gonna send it to my girlfriend. Okay guys, it's the end of my back workout already. So I'm really very tired, like already did an AM session, so I got a PM session now, so just try and finish it up. Then right now I'm gonna do some metabolite work. So what it does is to accumulate as much volume as possible towards the end of a mesocycle. So that's what a metabolite workout for me right now is, because I'm trying to accumulate as much volume as I can before my show itself. You know, it can serve as a calorie burner. You know, these kind of sets are insanely hard, and also depleting of the glycogen of the muscles itself. So by the time peak week comes, you know, I'll be really primed for myself to grow better. So what I'm gonna do now is a back dumbbell row set. I don't know what is it called. So I'm gonna do 10 of these, you know, 15 kg in a row, and then I'll rest 10 seconds, and then row for another 10, I rest seconds, and I'll repeat for 6 sets. So let's see where this goes, man. So that was it, man, for back day. I'm toasted. See you tomorrow. About 13 days out, so just a little physical update for you guys, and then we'll carry on the vlog from there. So hey people, I'm actually outside right now. I'm just filming some shots of the drone now. Actually pretty excited to bust it out. So here we got the drone. So let's take a look what's gonna happen, okay? So I have a bunch of hiccups, like basically you can't fly in that zone. But I'm just at my house, like I'm just below, so I had to shift the location to, you know, across the street itself. And then I started filming somewhere around like this like very big area itself. So I must say it was pretty fun. So I think you can see from the shots itself, it was okay. It was pretty decent. Enjoy it a bit. Off to train legs. What's up, people? I'm just gonna do a recording over this leg day clip, and I was actually thinking about doing this topic quite a while back as one of my starting videos because of a recent course that I took, the precision nutrition course, and it taught me a lot about it. But recently, you know, as you guys can see before the clip, like I was actually planning on my Krispy Kreme meal itself already. And then that led me to think about a topic that is very close to my heart, which is being very food focused. So what is food focus? So food focus is a representation of you being you being overwhelmed by the thought of food in yourselves and having everything that you think of, you breathe, you do, like everything that is in your daily actions of your life will have to become to a point of food focus. Now this usually happens to like competitors or people who have been dieting for very long, people who have eating disorders that require them to binge and things like that, or people who do not have a very healthy relationship with food. Now, food focus is not entirely a bad thing, you know, although I started off saying that it's a bad thing, but being too food focused is where I think the problem comes in. Because for me right now, like I didn't used to be this person of being like, hey man, like I really want like Krispy Kreme right now, like I want to have a pizza right now, like, you know, things like that. Like things like this are so like to me right now are like so stupid, because like I didn't used to be like that. But why have I become so food focused in a way? Well, the diet is one of them, like, you know, not having the ability to choose what you want to eat at that very moment and having to strictly eat what you have to eat right now so that I can fulfill a certain goal that I have towards the show itself. That's why I would think that becoming food focused has been a part and parcel of dieting and competitors that compete in this year in and year out. Every year, it's not that we can choose not to be flexible. But if you think about it, if you were to ask me whether I want to have a piece of Pop Tart or like rice, I'll definitely go for the rice right now because it's so much more filling for my body. And then I become food focused because I'm not being able to make the choice of having that Pop Tart right now. Like, to me, it won't really hurt, but it will damage the goals that I have currently right now. So that's why I would say that not having the ability to choose can cause someone to become so food focused. Well, other people, such as those who face like eating disorders or just going through normal diets itself, they can actually have that flexibility in themselves to be able to choose what they want to eat inside and not having to starve themselves, because they don't have to get down to very low body fats, so they do not have that limited choice that they usually have compared to us. So the way they become food focused is because they do things that are to the extreme. Like they choose that, oh, you know what, I'm gonna eat brown rice and tilapia, you know, that's the only way, you know, you gotta get lean, you gotta get shredded, bro, you gotta get 6 packs. You know, they think that that's the only way, but it's not. It's actually that they can have a wide variety of choices and a lot more leeway. So to them I say, you know what, you guys should actually really go find out about dieting and losing fat itself. Like, it doesn't have to be a scale whereby it's comparable to a bodybuilder's diet, you know. So you guys have a lot more going on for you guys, so don't worry about that. Now, have I lost myself completely throughout this process of like being food focused? Well, I think I did. So, but I would say it's just because of the circumstance right now, compared to previously before, like when I was hanging out with my girl and like we were going out to chill. I could eat anything that I want under the sun, and that was because I had the ability to choose. and that the power of choice was still with me, and I could make decisions out of my own palatable like decisions, like the things I like, and then fit into my like lifestyle itself. I wouldn't say that I was on a diet, or like I was trying to get big, so I only had to eat a few choices of food. Like I would say that I try to entail it around my lifestyle, and then I could have a myriad of things to eat. And it didn't have to be like, okay, rice, chicken, 8 meals a day, hitting calorie count, I'm gonna grow. Like for me, it was more of like, uh, okay, planning out the meals, and then okay, maybe I'll have this at night. Okay, let's say go have pizza with my girlfriend. But throughout the day, or the rest of the day, I can choose to eat more productively, hitting my protein count, making sure that I have enough carbohydrates for the meal itself. So I have things like that to play a part, and then it didn't affect me in a very very big way. So that was good. And then that's why I would say that it's just a circumstance right now that, hey man, like, I'm prepping for a show. I gotta make sure that everything is on point. I gotta make sure that I survive rather than I enjoy. So that's the circumstance that I'm in right now. Now, then again, what is food? Like after I like talk shit about it like so much, like is whoa, like being food focused is so bad. But you guys remember that I did say that being food focused is not entirely bad, because food is in the end, it's like identity. It's things that we interact with every day. It's time we spend with our family, sitting down and just talking and eating, having that meal conversation with your dad, your mom, through the food itself. It can also be a productive tool, is for you to prevent immunity diseases, or maybe fuel for performance itself. So food is actually a very amazing thing, and if we were to look at it at an objective view, whereby it is gonna cause us to gain fat, it's gonna cause us to have mental issues and relationships with food, or have thinkings of like, okay, this is clean, this is not clean, this is bad for you, this is not good for you. So this is where it's not talking about food being bad, but rather the mindset that we have with food that is bad. So that's why I would tell you that food is beneficial to our lives. It's not just merely fuel or preventing immunity diseases. Like, how about okay, let's just describe a daily thing about your life. You going out to lunch, hey, that's an event, like, and that's what food is. Like, it comprises the event and makes it very fruitful. Guys, like, if you guys think about your experiences in life, right, you guys can talk about, oh, that day I went to like Shake Shack, and then we were hanging out with Billy, Tom, Chantel. We were like just like sitting down talking about life, and then we had a good ass milkshake, and that was what made the event had that like little icing on the cake. Like, it made the event so fruitful in a way, because food actually made that event like have that oh yeah, like we went there and eat and then we talked. It encompassed that whole experience itself. So that's why food is beneficial. Now, why has it turned to a bad way itself? It's because people choose to have very high palatable tongues, and like high appetites for this kind of foods. Like, they only want like good ass foods, and like a copious amount of it. They choose to eat like way much than they can have to, and not and talking about experience itself, they focus on eating rather than the experience of like like talking, having everything else. Like, they just focus on the part of the sentence whereby Shake Shack was good, rather than, wow, Shake Shack was good, and then Chantel was talking about like ba 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 ba. So it's these things that little things that cause people to have bad relationships with food, and associating them to things that equate like body fat, and not having that proper mindset of like, okay, enough is enough, or maybe that, okay, you know what, I shouldn't like after I have this, like I don't really need anything much, because my cravings are being satisfied after all. And this also boils down to satiety itself. Like, people who have like very large appetites with foods that are very nice tend to eat a lot more than they have to, and it doesn't make sense for them to eat that much, but it's because the food tastes so good that they have to keep having it and having it again. And that's where, you know, this kind of like bad relationships with food ever come out. Then the camps of clean food, the camps of bad food also just start like popping up from nowhere. It's like the Hunger Games, like, you know, like zone 14, zone 13, zone 12, just like you know. And then people have like superiority of like diets of like, okay, that's the only way you're gonna get lean because they did that and then it got them lean. So these are things that can happen when you have bad relationships with food. Now, some of my past experiences with bodybuilding shows that I actually did 3 shows in my whole entire like bodybuilding career. So I'm just gonna talk about, I'm not gonna talk about like the performance or how I place and stuff like that, but rather than the post-show experiences and like my experience with food itself. Like, I actually had a very bad relationship with food ever since my first show. Like, ever since my first show, I until now I think I'm a lot better now. But from my first show, I was very bad. Like, after my competition ended and I lost very badly, like I placed like dead last in my class, I literally went berserk. I went crazy, man. Like, I would eat anything on site. Like, if you told me that the medical oil had a Krispy Kreme glazed donut flavor, I would have drunk it straight. Like, just like went in, went down, don't care. At most, I'll just go to the toilet. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna have it. But it was because I didn't have that relationship with food that, like, hey, like, after the show, you know, I'm gonna have some nice treats. But then it's gonna go back into the lifestyle factor itself. Like, I'm gonna go back to being that guy that, okay, you know what, food has more than what it encompasses. It's not just making myself feel good, but it's actually talking with people, actually having good conversations with my mother and my father. So things like that are what caused my first show to be bad. And then the second show, I was a bit better, but I didn't have a focus after that. Like, although I did know that I know what kind of amounts make me full, but I didn't have something else to look forward to. Like, after my show, I was actually prepping for the army because we Singapore boys, when we are 18, we are gonna get our asses to the armies. So I didn't have that focus anymore. Like, I didn't have that lifestyle like main priority. So I just chose to, okay, you know what, just fuck it, man. Like, I'm sorry, sorry for the language. I just like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna eat whatever I want because it's gonna be army soon, so I'm just gonna gain a bunch of weight. I'm just gonna lose a bunch of weight. So you know what, just keep like chowing down food. And then it made me feel disgusted about myself. Like, hey, like, what have I become? Like, you know, like, what happened to the lifestyle factor? What happened to being someone that advocates that food has a lot more encompasses rather than fulfilling the need of feeling good about myself. Now, I would say during the off season of 1-8, this is where I picked up precision nutrition itself, and I learned a lot through the first chapter only about how I have to deal with relationships with food, and not just seeing food as a productive tool, but rather than something that really encompass my whole lifestyle. Like, really cherishing the experiences I have through food rather than the experience I get from food. And that really made me understand the need to have a better relationship with it. Because I want to be someone that advocates, hey, like, you know, food is actually good. Like, I wouldn't tell you not to eat that fried chicken, but I'm saying that what we have to look past the fried chicken is, other than feeling good about ourselves and then having tasty foods in our mouth, is the people that came with it, or the experiences that I had alongside of the food. Like, maybe fried chicken was from Jollibee, it wasn't from KFC. So I cherish the fact that, hey, I'm actually experiencing something new, a new store, and I'm having like a very good decision about what is a better fried chicken. So it made me think a lot more about the things that I'm consuming, and then having to put that practicality into my brain itself. It kind of instilled in me that, hey, I want to have nice food. Like, I want to be able to experience as much as possible from it and not just feeling good about myself. So maybe this helped you, or you know, like it helped you like have a better like understanding of like what food is. You know, it's just so much more than us. And I hope this helps someone, you know, who's facing some food issues itself, to maybe see food as more than what it is, and maybe not just judge it by its face value, and really appreciating what it can do for you, and helping them have that better relationship with food. Yeah, so that's all I got, and I check in with you guys later on. So yeah.
Anyway, this leg day looks insane, man. Like, I'm actually recording it before I lay over the clip. So I have this feeling that, okay, this leg day is gonna be bad. So future me, get ready. You're gonna get your ass kicked.
So I hope you guys enjoy this style of videos. You know, I don't tend to touch on topics like this. You know, it's my first time, so do let me know if you guys enjoy the content. And if you guys did enjoy the content, just give a thumbs up. Comment below what else you might want me to talk about. Something that may not sound as professional, but I think it's more important that I give the insight, you know, so people can like, you know, like pick off ideas from there and have a sense of like understanding itself. I actually didn't want to leave the gym already. Like the music was getting so good. Like wow, like I really couldn't leave. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. So I talk to you guys soon, and then see you in the next video, man. Peace out. She's in love with Hawaiian. Back in high school, I used to bust into the dance. Now I hit that FAO with duffels in my hands. I didn't have a Zen, and then I was letting me out like a light, like a light, like a light. Slept through the flight.